Hey everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie, and welcome back to my channel. This is about the 5th time I've tried to start this video. It's very noisy here today. It is spring here in central Canada, finally, and I do live rurally, so my neighbors are not, they're neighbors, but they're certainly not very close to me, but I think one of them might be sighting in a new rifle outside, a new gun. So if you hear faint banging, I apologize for that. I was trying to wait till he was done, but I think that's what he's doing, because there's many bangs in a row, and that's usually, if I hear that, that's what somebody's doing. Yeah, so this is what I purchased coloring-wise, coloring supplies and coloring books for April 2025. And I know I got more stuff, but I think I got some interesting things. I got some things that I would definitely not recommend, so I will point those out when we get to them. And some things that I think I would recommend. So I think we will start with books this time. I think I started with supplies last time. I can't remember. We'll start with books this time. The first book is a PDF, and I did a flip through of this PDF on my channel, so I'll try and remember to link that video below, so I won't do a full flip through here. But this is a new book by Nina Steiner. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Future editing Connie here. The place that both Nina and the lovely viewer who was helping me with the pronunciation is from is Slovenia. I had that wrong in the original video. Chimed in on the flip through video that I did and said I was close, but the S at the beginning is more of a sh sound, and the J is a Y sound. So yeah, I know we would look at this in English and think Stagner, but it's more like Steiner. I'm hoping I'm getting that close. So this is Meadowland, an adult coloring book. Now the interesting thing about this is she's released 2 versions of this, and I talk about that in the flip through video. So she has, and I purchased the PDF on Etsy from her Etsy store, but you can also buy a bound copy of this book on Amazon, and it's just CreateSpace printed. But she's got 2 versions of it. So this is the adult version, 30 illustrations. I did say in the flip through video that I think I prefer her older book, the My Tiny Forest. It's more sketchy than this one. This one is, you can see, it almost reminds me a bit of the cute and cozy, like the simple coloring books, which, you know what, if that's what you're into, that's awesome. And I still think these illustrations are adorably cute. I just prefer her sketchier style from her other book. Her other book was smaller. It was 8x8. This is, it was probably originally A4, but I printed it on 8.5 by 11 because I'm in Canada. And so the images are larger. So I'll just kind of do a flip of, some of the images here. Like I say, I did a full flip through in that other video. She also has kind of a children's version of this, or kids version, and it says for ages 2 to 5. And what she's done in that version, and I believe that one is called, so this one's called Meadowland, and that one's called Meadowland Kids, I think. In that version of the book, she's taken elements from each of these pictures and just done that element, but much bigger, also on an 8.5 by 11 or A4 sized image. So you have really great big open spaces in the kids version. And, again, if you like those coloring books where you've got those great big images, they're very simple, wide open spaces, that one might appeal to you. But both of them, both the adult and the kids version, are available as PDFs on her Etsy store, but they're also available as print books in Amazon. So there you go. As with all my hauls, I don't tend to link things. I know I probably should, but if you do see anything and, you can't find it just by Googling, for sure, let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to give you links to anything you might see in the video in the comments. All right, so that's the first thing. I then did an Amazon Japan purchase. And I think I've said this before. With Amazon Japan, I mean, the shipping is pretty pricey, but you get it so quickly. Oh, and I think that just reminded me, I actually filmed a little small unboxing. Did I for this one? Yes, I think I did. So I will insert that maybe at the end of the video. So if you want to see that, stick around to the end of the video just to show you how well things are packaged from Amazon Japan. I couldn't get over it. Anyway, but the shipping is quite pricey. Particularly, I'm not sure how much it is to get it shipped to places in Europe or the UK, but to get it shipped here to Canada, yeah. But the shipping sort of maxes out at a certain point. So then if you add kind of more small items to your order, it doesn't cost you any more in shipping. I know when you're looking on Amazon Japan, you know, you'll see the shipping cost listed kind of for each, you know, page you go to. And usually it says it's about $20 shipping, you know, for this, $20 shipping for that, $20 shipping for something else. But it doesn't continue to add up like that. So I think it maxes out somewhere around $50 shipping. Now that's assuming you're not buying huge, great big heavy things too, right? But once you sort of hit that max shipping, you can add like little small items, and it doesn't seem to increase the shipping anymore. So when I do an Amazon Japan order, I try and remember, or I try and wait until I have, you know, for a number of things to order to make the shipping worth it. So I do have a couple books, and I have some supplies as well. This is one of the books that I added to the order, and I think I saw this. It was Maya's channel. Pretty sure it was Maya. And it is just a little Japanese coloring book. I don't think I even did a translation, did I? I did not. Mizutama is maybe the illustrator. My apologies. I can show you the ISBN though, if somebody would like to try and find it. There it is there. And it's a small book. I think it's about 8 by 8. It's got, you know, that nice Japanese paper. This one isn't super smooth. It's smooth-ish, but I just really like this cartoony kind of Japanese style. You know, it I should say it really does lend itself to kind of flat coloring, not worrying about realistic shading, highlights. You can just kind of, you know, be cute. I mean, even look at the way they've colored on the front. I mean, it's probably a children's coloring book if I had to guess. But it's just super cute. Again, if somebody would like a flip through of this, I haven't done one. I think Maya did one. But I'm happy to do one. Just let me know in the comments. It's just cute. Cute stuff. I was a kid in the 80s, and I remember a lot of Japanese stuff then, too. Like, what was it, Hello Kitty? There was other ones, too. Sanrio? I feel like that was a company name I remember. Oh, there's a little card. Little postcards you can cut out. Merry Christmas. Happy Halloween. I mean, that's cute. Right? Some little seasonal stuff here at the back. For you, thank you. A little test page at the back. Oh, looks like there's some other ones too. But I just got this one. I just thought it was cute. So there's a very cute Japanese coloring book. I've also been doing lots of mandala coloring. I mean, I always have, but I don't mind the Amazon printed, the Create Space paper mandala books. You know, lots of them by, you know, Jade Summer. Yeah, sorry, I'm blanking on names here. But they are on the Create Space paper, and I don't mind them. But I wanted to see if you got a mandala book that's not printed on Create Space paper, from Japan, what would the paper be like? So this one is flower mandalas. It says Cynthia Emerly. I'm assuming that's what that translates to. I can give you the ISBN there. If anyone wants direct links to these books, just let me know in the comments and I can give you an Amazon Japan direct link too. But yeah, I just wanted to see. And you know what? I kind of like this. So this is flower mandalas. Obviously it has, you know, floral designs in it. The line work isn't super dark and black. It almost looks like it's a gray, which I kind of like. Some of them are more detailed than others. The paper, it's not as thick as that last Japanese book we were looking at. It feels a little toothier, maybe. It's definitely paper and not card, but it's better than Amazon paper for sure. Single-sided, so I mean you could use your alcohol markers. That would be fine. I feel like maybe the alcohol markers would bleed a bit on this paper. Just, I don't know, it feels a bit toothier. I haven't tried yet, so I could be wrong on that. But, you know, like all Japanese books, they tend to give you a little bit of sort of coloring instruction at the beginning, which you can go ahead and translate if you would like. But it gives you a fair number of mandalas in there. Sorry. I just wanted something different. Just a different kind of mandala book. I really do like mandalas. Oh, there you go. You even get the names of the mandalas. Lattice egg, passion flower, Art Nouveau, wound with ribbons. Sewing circle, braided diamond, morning glory. So that's neat. Now it does say first published in Great Britain. Maybe this was an English book before it was a Japanese book. I don't know. I do not know. But there you go. Flower mandalas. The same. I feel like it's kind of the same. Maybe not. This is healing mandalas. They were sort of listed kind of under the same listing. But I don't know that it's the same. It doesn't say that it's the same artist. I don't know if it's the same company, printing company either. It kind of almost looks like it is, doesn't it? Could not be though. This one's just called Healing Mandalas. So again, oh sorry, give the ISBN there. And this one does feel like it feels like the same kind of paper as the floral mandala one. This one has like a little note on the back, or a space for notes on the back. You can title it. I mean, I guess that this could refer to this, or you could go this way, although, find the first one. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. Yeah, I guess it would have to refer to the one on the previous page, because there isn't one there. But it gives you some examples at the front. Some color palettes to follow if you want to. You don't have to. And you could translate all the stuff at the back. It gives you teeny tiny ones at the back if you want to color those. But again, just something different. And you can see that the line work is not super dark or super black. Some of these are quite intricate, some aren't. I mean, I wouldn't say that this paper is going to bleed with alcohol markers any more than CreateSpace Amazon print paper would. I doubt it. It's not super smooth, thick cardstock. That's all I was trying to get at. These almost look sketchier. I kind of like that. Again, I just like things that are different, you know, not sort of the same over and over again. So yeah, so that's Healing Mandalas. And one more mandala book. Again, Amazon Japan. This the Japanese call color by number puzzle books, usually, I think. So this says Healing Designs and Patterns, Mandala Puzzle Coloring. So I knew this was going to be color by number, but I thought, well, sometimes I like color by number. I'll give you the ISBN for this one too. I do have a finished page in here, so you might get a sneak peek at that. It has a different color palette for each page. Now, this is not single-sided. And interestingly, only every second mandala has a color palette. So, if you go to the front here, it actually gives you all the mandalas colored. So, I mean, I guess this is sort of, I'm sorry if you didn't want to see this, but like number 1, it shows colored, but if you go to number 1, oh no, number 1 does have a color palette, but number 2, 1, 2, 2, never, wait a minute, oh no, okay, I didn't notice that before. So there's one with a color palette and numbers. There's one with no color palette. There's 2 with a color palette and numbers. And there's 2 with no color palette. But there's 3 with a color palette. 3 with no color palette. 4 with a color palette. 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay, but it does stop doing this after a while. Oh, no, maybe it doesn't. Oh, my goodness, Connie. Okay, I did not notice this before. My apologies. So every mandala does have a color palette, but you get 2 versions of it. Wow. And I even colored a whole page in here. You'd think I would have noticed that. Oh, my goodness. All right, so depending on if you want the color by number version or the non-color by number version, they're on the back side of the page. So, like, here's 18 with a color palette and with numbers. Here's 18. Now, mind you, it is shrunk and it's kind of weirdly off-center, but with no color palette and no numbers. So I guess if you were going to use alcohol markers, you'd have to choose one or the other. Huh. For whatever reason, I thought that it alternated, which I thought was weird, but I guess because I was looking at this and seeing 16, 17, and then it just didn't clue in that 16 was actually also on the other side with a color palette. The neat thing is, too, they're perforated. You can tear them out. You can hear the paper. It's not as thin as the other mandala books we were just looking at, but it's also not as thick as that first Japanese book. It's like halfway in between. But it's smooth. It's I think it's good paper. The color palettes change from page to page, which I kind of like. I sometimes get bored. I have a very good visual memory. Weirdly, I was tested a number of times when I was a kid, just IQ testing and stuff like that. Anyway, my memory came out really good. And so if it's a color by number book where the color palette's the same way all the way through, the same colors, I get bored. I don't know. Does it sound weird? Maybe that's weird. So I like the fact that the numbers are different colors for each different page. Like here, number 1 is yellow. I guess it's yellow there too, but number 5 here is green, 5 here is pink, right? Here 15 is a pink, here 15 is like a baby blue. So I like that. I like that it changes on each page. It's sort of the same general kind of palette. Not every mandala uses the same colors. So not every mandala uses, I don't know how many colors there are total. There it goes to 21. I don't know if there's anyone. There it goes to 23, 24. So maybe there's a max of, nope, there's 26. I really should look at these books before I talk, shouldn't I? There's 29. Maybe 29 colors is the max. Excuse me, frog in my throat today. But not every palette has 29 colors. There's one I did. Yeah, so not every mandala has 29 colors. And I kind of like that because sometimes too, I find with color by number books, they're trying to put every color in the palette on every page sometimes, and you get some really weird, strange color combinations. Whereas these ones, you know, if you look at the colored examples, they're colorful, but I think they're harmonious. You know what I mean? Like they're colorful, but they make sense to me. I don't feel like, any one of these I'm looking at the color palette thinking, okay, that one is a bit odd. But, I'm looking at these thinking, yeah, that color palette makes sense. So, I really like this book. I think I'll like all the Mandala books, but I really like this one. Again, I didn't do the translation. Sorry, I should have. Talks a little bit about different ways to color. How do you guys color mandalas? Do you do all of one color first, everywhere in the whole thing? Or do you do all the colors but just in one section? How do you go about doing it? I kind of do a little bit of each, I think. Some of these are very tiny spaces. You can see that. They're tiny. So if you don't like tiny, intricate spaces, this might not be the mandala book for you. I did the page that I did with the Languo gel pens because they're quite opaque, although in some places they didn't quite cover the numbers. But for the most part, they covered the numbers, and they're small, right? So you could get into those tiny spaces. So, there we go. Japanese mandala book. I did get some other things from Amazon Japan, but I think I'll finish off the rest of the books first, and then we'll do the supplies. Did this also come from Japan? Yes, it did. Sorry, this was one more book that came from Japan. Now, it might seem weird for me to order an Amazon print book all the way from Japan, but like I say, I was putting the order in anyway. And this is Tiny Magical Illustrations by Rita Prince. Reihan Udachi, I think is her name. She just put out, Udachi? I think that's how you say that. She just put out another book as well. Oh my goodness, I have to think what it's called. I got the German version. Walden Nature? Yeah. But this one is just little, it's small victories-ish, right? It's got the little examples of just little bits. And so you can practice coloring things. Yeah, it's a practice coloring book. So, here you can practice coloring cats. There's a whole bunch of different cats. You can practice coloring desk kind of things. Food. People. Furniture. But Amazon Japan, the paper they print on is different. I don't know what it is, but it's different. So I thought, well, I'm putting in an order to Amazon Japan anyway. I'm going to get the Japanese version of this book because the paper, it's smoother. It can take like pit pens and what have you better than the pretty much any other Amazon paper. I did a video ages ago where I had Amazon print books from I think 5 different countries, and I did a comparison. Again, I'll try and remember to link that below too if you want to watch it. But yeah, the Amazon Japan paper, it's just different. It's not technically that much thicker. You can see the images through it, but it's just different. So, better, I think. So yeah, I grabbed that from Amazon Japan. Even though it's in English, it's all in English. But it says printed in Japan. I can give you the ISBN for that one too. That one's probably easier to find because you can search the English title. But there's the ISBN for you. And you don't need to get this from Amazon Japan. You could absolutely get this from any Amazon. But Tiny Magical Illustrations by Rita Prince. And then I had an order from Amazon Canada. Now, you can get, on Amazon Canada, you can get a surprising number of Marabou printed books. So Marabou is a French company, and this is, I'm not sure if it's printed in France. I mean, it's probably printed in China, usually. Spain? By Unigraph? So maybe this is printed in Spain. This is an older book, but I'm just getting it now. So this is Le Pays de Merveille. No. Merveille. My French is terrible, I'm sorry. Le Pays de Merveille. The World of the Sea. The World... no, it wouldn't be under. The World of the Sea, I think. Carnet Fantastique. Et Livre de Coloriage. Peggy Neal. The paper is, like all Marabou printed books, absolutely fantastic. It is double-sided. Sorry, I keep getting off center here. I don't know why. If you guys want to see a flip through this, I'd be happy to do it, but it's an older book. You guys have probably seen it. There are some people on these pages. I'm not a fan of coloring people, but they're pretty small people. So I think I could handle that. But I've seen some amazing pages done out of here by Kay, Coloring with Kay, by Maya. And so, yeah, I thought, well, I'm going to get this book. I love the backgrounds. And it's nicely printed, too. Doesn't seem to be any printing errors or anything on the black printing. So that's cool. So there you go. I won't say the title again, so I won't butcher it. Butcher the pronunciation. I saw this on Wendy's channel. Wendy's Coloring. This is Coco Wyo, How to Draw Patterns. And I have a few of the simple, kind of cute and cozy kind of books. But I think this book would be useful, I mean, not just for those kinds of books, for any kinds of books. You know, things like nature texture. There's times when, you know, I'm coloring and I think, yeah, I'd like to add in something extra. But I cannot draw. But I thought, well, you know what? I can probably do the things that are in here. They're very simple. They're very sketchy. They show you, you know, step by step how you would go about doing these patterns. And then it gives you some practice areas. Ripples, puddles, surface textures. And it shows you how to draw in a very cartoony kind of style, which, let's face it, if I'm going to draw, it's going to be cartoony. There's no stinking way it's going to be real. So that's probably a good plan for me. But yeah, and then it's got a table of contents at the front. So you can look up different patterns, textures. 75, it says there's all. So this is your creative library. That section gathers even more textures and patterns ready for you to reference anytime. Use the practice pages to test out ideas, mix and match effects, or simply doodle freely. So it's got some, you know, examples here. You've got fire in different colors. That's kind of neat. You know, a house plant with different colored leaves, different types of pots. And then you can do your own. Try it out. You can either copy what they've done or go crazy. And then it's got kind of a, yeah, basically a library that you can use to refer to back here. It's got the color palettes used for each one, different patterns. So it's like an index. Some coloring pages you can even try. They've started a bit for you. And this is Amazon print. But it feels like it's that little bit better Amazon paper because there is color printing in here. And they usually don't do that on the really horrible paper. So you can get some coloring pages at the back you can play with. I just thought it was a really, really interesting book. So I thought, well, I'm gonna grab myself a copy of that. So it's Coco Wyo, How to Draw Patterns. Game can show you the ISBN, although like I say, this one's probably pretty easy to find. I know I said I wasn't going to get this, but I did. I think this is the most recent Mini Mania, so now I have all 6. Have I colored in most of them? No, but I do think they're adorable. So this is Gabby Wolf, Mini Mania 6. Again, Amazon printed book. Strangely, I know I bought this from Amazon Canada, but it says it was printed in Monet, Illinois, made in the USA. That's weird. Like normally when it actually does have that really terrible, sorry guys in the States, but your Amazon print paper is terrible. I mean, look at how much you can see through of that. It's like tissue paper. But I don't know why, like the Canadian print Amazon paper tends to be a bit better. And I know I ordered this from Amazon Canada. I have no idea why I got a US printed copy. No idea. I guess I could send it back. Yeah, I don't know. But then if I ordered another one, who's to say, do you know what I mean? Like, it was just very weird. If you'd like a flip through of this one, I can do that. I think you guys have probably seen it. Again, it's not brand new. Yeah, like there's lines in the black printing. You don't normally get that in Canadian Amazon print books. Do not know why this is the US one. Do not know. But yeah, Gabby Wolf, Mini Mania 6. This was different. I think I like it. I do occasionally like color by number. And I've talked about this before. I think I talked about it a little bit just in previous maybe finished pages videos. I maybe talked about it a little bit in the video that I recently posted where I went through my mandala collection. Because I do have some color by number mandalas and got another one. When I just am just done. I'm very stressed, I'm very tired, and my brain just does not have the mental bandwidth to even select a color palette for a mandala. That's when color by number comes in really handy, because you don't have to think. They tell you, right? They tell you what colors to use. And I know there are tons of color by number books out there. I like ones that are more intricate, and I know Disney, Hachette Heroes has some great ones, but I'm not, I know it's a sacrilege, I'm not really a Disney fan. I don't mind it, but it's not, my thing. But I saw this one, and again, printed by Marabou. Amazon Canada is where I got it. Coloriage Mystère, is that how you would say it? Japan. So, Japan. So, it's again, like a puzzle book. So if you don't want to see the answers, look away. But it's Japanese imagery, and I really liked I could see a few of them, because I think it showed the back, so I could see those. But I really liked the style of the images. And the images themselves, some of them can look fairly simple, but you'll see when I go to the front, again, it's like those puzzle books where it's not like all of this is one shape. It's made up of a bunch of different shapes. You'll see. You guys probably know what I'm referring to, but so I'm thinking like opaque gel pens or acrylic markers. I don't know if you can see the lines there. Can you see how tiny they are? And so, interestingly, instead of, I said color by numbers, but it's actually letters. I'm trying to remember, do they have? Nope. Where's the color? Here's the color palette. I don't know why it's letters instead of numbers. It just is. So we've got letters A through T. So that's what? 20 colors? And I really like the color palette. Because oftentimes, too, you get color by number books, and it's a very primary, a very, well, for lack of a better term, childish color palette, right? But this, to me, had some more kind of sophisticated, like tertiary colors in there. So I really liked that. That's also what drew me to this book. So it's Marabou printed. Séverine Prela is the artist. Do I have another book by her? Maybe. Maybe not. But the paper is your typical Marabou paper. It's fantastic. They are single-sided. I think because it's a puzzle book, this is like a riddle. So, before you colored this in, if you didn't look at the answers at the back of the book, you could, read through the riddle in French, and then je suis, I am. So, I am, what am I, basically? And they each have pages like that. I won't translate all of this. My French is very rusty. I mean, there's parts of that I could read, but I certainly wouldn't try and translate it all. I'm a miniature tree. I need meticulous attention. Branches and leaves, delicates. Yeah, I mean, I should know French better. Canada, we have to take it to school. But, yeah, so this is color by letter, I guess I should call it, not color by number. But I thought that was, again, kind of an interesting, different kind of book. A color by number book that had a really unique, grayed out, desaturated color palette. I thought that was be interesting. And these last two books are, again, I think I've seen them on Maya's channel. They're by Steve McDonald. So coloring book, this is Fantastic Coloring book of amazing places, creatures, and collections. And then Fantastic Collections, a coloring book of amazing things, real and imagined. He's Canadian. And right now, I just really, really want to support that. So I believe, well, he's a lifelong traveler. He's lived, Saudi Arabia, Italy, India, Indonesia, visited dozens of other countries. His native Canada, traveled coast to coast, graduate of the Ontario College of Art and Design. So yeah, I wanted to support a Canadian artist. It's got really nice paper in it, and it's very sketchy. I love sketchy styles, and it's got wallpaper pages, cassette tapes. Hello, 80s. You 80s kids out there, why'd you have to have a pencil in your car? You'll know. You'll know. Yeah, cassette tapes. Had to have a pencil in your car there too. I like wallpaper pages. It's, again, you can pick a color palette and then you don't have to think. So it's similar to mandalas, right? But I think there's some opportunity to do some really cool things in a book like this. Each page is labeled where he took the inspiration from. So like this says South Australia Outback in Australia. Elephants at Etosha National Park, Namibia. This just says bookshelves. This was a tattoo design. Wishbone's tattoo design for John Green. So there's some pretty neat stuff in here. So this is probably, I would say, this Fantastic Coloring book, like Joanna Basford book size. Kirby's and Rosanna's, that kind of size. I can give you the ISBN for this as well. Hopefully you can see that there. I thought I should have read. I thought they were the same size. But if you look, this bottom one is probably 10 by 10, 10 inches by 10 inches. This is probably 12 by 12. So Fantastic Coloring is kind of that Joanna Basford kind of size. But Fantastic Collections is a big book. So just to be warned. Okay, I can give you the ISBN for this one. If you can't read those tiny numbers above the barcode, the number at the bottom of the barcode is also the ISBN. It's the same number. And again, Steve McDonald. It tells you about each page. These ones, so that other one was Fantastic Coloring. This is Fantastic Collections. Don't know that there's landscapes in here. I think this is just collections of things. Leaves, camping gear, lock mandala, lock collection. It's stitch bound, but it's stitch bound on this one anyway. It's got green. You see that? Like the thread used to stitch it is green. Is it that way all the way through? I don't remember. Yeah, it is. It's green. Was the other one green? I think the other one was stitch bound too. Nope. Where's the center? Is that the center? Yeah. No, this is just white. But the stitching on this one is green. I don't know if that was meant to be or if it's a mistake. I think it's cool. Yeah, Moroccan lamps, Chinese lanterns, fishing tackle, dragonflies. That is a ray gun mandala. I don't know that I've ever seen another book. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this. I don't think I can keep it all on screen. My camera's as high as it can go. I don't think I've ever seen a ray gun mandala. Bookshelves next to televisions. Interesting. Antique glass bottles. Kitchen utensils. Dollhouse kitchen. Typewriters mandala. Okay, that's cool. All the little keys. That's cool. Keys. Not typewriter keys, but keys. Military medals. It's just neat stuff. And like I say, it's a Canadian artist. So it made me happy to purchase these books and support him. So that one's Fantastic Collections. The other one was Fantastic Coloring. This is Fantastic Collections. And that's it for books. I'm going to take a brief pause here. I know this is going to be a long one. And get a drink, and then I will be back. It'll just be a second for you, and we will go through some supplies. All right, I'm back. Should we start with? I'm going to start with the disappointment of my supplies for this month. And I want to do this so that you don't make the same mistake I did. Because I was super excited about these. Uh-oh. Hold on. There we go. I do like the Lango gel pens, the ones with the 0.5 millimeter tip, right? The sets of 9 that have been everywhere. And when I purchased those, I had also purchased, I don't even have them in cases anymore, but there were 2 sets of, sorry, I'm trying to get them, there, I have them in this little tray. There were 2 sets of, they were called Color Gel Pen Languo Plus, and I think they said they were calligraphy pens, something along that line. And there was 2 sets of 6 in these really lovely kind of muted colors, right? I don't remember what order they went in, but there was 12 of them total. And I love them. I love them. I have extras. They have a lovely, great big 1 millimeter nib on them. That's why they're Languo Plus. The ink flow is fantastic. They're opaque. They're just a joy to color with. So when I saw these on, it was AliExpress, I got really excited because I thought, oh, fantastic. Languo's come out with more colors. Sorry about the glare there. More colors in that Languo Plus bold 1 millimeter nib. But instead of calligraphy, it says color painting gel pen. Now, I didn't think that made any difference. but it does. And I'm going to show you why. So this is all of the colors. I was so excited for these. Live and learn. Well, I made the mistake, so you don't have to. No, not to. I mean, maybe some of you will like these, and I'll show you why they disappoint me. So there were packs of, like, you've got some reds, some purples. This was like a neutral, right? It's got some grays and browns, yellows and oranges. There was like a, fluorescent kind of highlightery pinks, some probably what they would call skin tones, some blues, some greens. So, I mean, it was a fantastic array of colors. I was so excited. I'll show you why they disappointed me. I'll go with the greens. They look exactly the same, right? Color gel pen plus Languo P600. I don't know what that means. B, right? I mean, they look identical to these ones that I had before, which is why I was looking at these on AliExpress and thinking, oh, it's awesome. They're going to be so awesome. Took them out, opened them up. Paper. Went to start writing with them. I thought, what the heck? Because if I grab one of these, I mean, they're gorgeous. I mean, the ink flow is fantastic. They're beautiful. These. So I thought, are they dry? Like, what's going on? Then I realized, in order to get the ink to flow out of these, you have to push. And not only do you have to push, because sometimes, and you can actually feel, and I don't know if you can hear this or not. We'll get it up close to the camera. Let's see if you can hear this. It's like a little click. So you can feel the tip of the ball point of this pen being pushed in slightly. And in order to keep the ink flowing, you have to keep pressure on the tip. And a fair amount of pressure. Like, you can't... Yeah, you have to push and keep pushing. So while you're coloring or writing with these, you have to be pushing. Now, once you push and keep pushing, the flow is lovely. But you have to put a fair amount of pressure down. And, I don't know, be able to see or not. It's enough pressure that if you're coloring, say, on Amazon print books, like CreateSpace books, you're going to make a dent in that page. So they just don't go down as smoothly as the other ones. They just, I mean, they do, because that's some lovely ink coverage right there. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with the ink coverage, but in order to get that, you have to push and keep pushing. So it is going to be harder in your hand, right? And so that's why I was disappointed in these, because they even have numbers on the bottom. They all say BG. I thought maybe that meant blue-green, but I don't think it does, because they all say BG. So this is BG 104. This is 808. So they even have, and maybe these are names on here as well. I didn't translate, but you can see there's Chinese characters above the numbers. But they all have numbers, so you can swatch them, and they can be all in the swatch book. But I didn't send them back. I kept them, because I just kept thinking, I'm going to use them. Because they have, look at the colors. Like, when do you ever get a beautiful light mint green, truly opaque, 1 millimeter, gel pen in that color. Like, you just don't. But you have to push. You can almost hear that little scratchy noise because I'm having to push and keep pushing. The minute I stop pushing, like if I just sort of put my hand back here and just let the pen, you get nothing. So it's not like you can start it. As soon as I stop pushing, the ink stops. It was very sad. I was so excited and then so very sad. And now that I'm looking at the nibs and I'm able to look at the nibs up close. So I just grabbed this. So this is one of the old ones. This is one of the ones where I'm not pushing. My hand is way back here. I mean, obviously I go back far enough. It's, you know, but it flows, right? This is one of the new ones. I don't know if you can see the difference in the shape of those two nibs. Can you see it? Maybe? Trying to, ooh, that's really close. So the one on the top is just basically like a rounded bullet shape. You see that? The one on the bottom has, oh no, I have blue ink in my hand, has, so these new ones, it's like there's a little dip and then there's a rounded ball. So these are just sort of a plain bullet shape, and these go, and then there's a little dip, and then there's a rounded ball in the end. Excuse me. So, do I suggest doing what I did and getting all excited and buying all 9 sets of these? No. But, I mean, if you're super excited about the color selection, maybe buy 1 set and see if you're okay with having to put pressure down like that to color. So they work. I'm not saying they don't work, but they just work weirdly. So there was a green set, and I did a swatch on the back of each. Sorry, lots of glare there. So lovely colors. The blues have some lovely colors there. This was, I mean, they probably call these flesh tones. They're strange flesh tones, but everybody's skin is that color. Pinks. Sorry, I'm tilting it just so you don't get the, because if I do that, you just get the glare. Like, I mean, that's a lovely pink. Like a dusky pink. These, I don't normally color with neon colors, but they're kind of fun. And you've got your yellows and oranges. There's a white and a black, and then some browns, and then like a warm gray and a cool gray. I was just so excited about the color range. Some purples and reds. I mean, there's a pretty coral color there, a nice kind of deep burgundy. Oh well. So, Lango Plus. These ones say color painting gel pen. The other ones said calligraphy. I don't know if that was the difference. I don't know if maybe the manufacturer that they went to ran out of the other kind of nib and said, this is a 1mm nib, it'll be fine. You know, go ahead. Annika, Axix Fumbles, also talked about these in her channel. I think she was disappointed like I was too. And she did some testing in terms of whether or not they're sort of waterproof or water soluble once they're dry. And I think she said that these ones are not. So once they dried and then you took a water brush, you couldn't kind of get them to reactivate. Whereas these ones, once they were dry, you could kind of still get them to dissolve and move. So she was thinking maybe these ones are acrylic, like, or there's a different formulation in the ink, and maybe that's why they had to put a different nib on them. I don't know. It was just very sad and disappointed. But the colors are beautiful. So do I recommend these? No. unless you don't mind coloring and pushing like that all the time. So that's why I say maybe just get one pack, see if you feel like that's okay, and then you can look at other colors. So got those. But when I got those, I saw that there was some other 1mm gel pens, different brand. So I got those too. Because of course it's AliExpress, everything is so cheap. And these really are, they're the nibs on these ones are similar to the nibs on the Languo ones. So these say Moka, M-O-K-A, and there were 6 packs of these. Sorry. There we go. I know there's a glare, sorry. They were kind of like mixed packs. I mean, this is a green pack. But this is, yeah, it didn't seem like, it wasn't really sort of color families. Sort of, maybe. This is sort of pinks and purples. But then there were packs like this where you had, you know, kind of different colors. But these ones, take a look at the greens. There's 8 in each pack. And they look a little different than the Languo ones. The body isn't as thick. In fact, the body almost more reminds me of the other Languo gel pens, the ones with the smaller nibs. And then these have a cap that has like a clip on it, whereas the Languo ones didn't. It's got like a little nub there, so it doesn't roll on the desk, but there's no clip. But these have a clip. Not that I need one, but they do have that just straight up bullet-shaped 1mm nib. So you can just color with these, keep writing, right? Sorry, fluorescent yellow probably wasn't the best choice of color here. What do we have? Do this one here. No pressure at all. You can hold it way back top. So the ink flow on these is amazing. Now this says acrylic as well, so I don't really know. I haven't tested these to see if they're water soluble or not once they're dry. But there's no numbering system on these, so I just wrote numbers 1 through 8 for each pack. And actually I took little small white stickers and colored a little bit and then taped that to the pen as well, just so I have a, I mean, you should be able to look at the color of the ink, I guess, and know. But yeah, so these were under the same listing, I think, as the Languo pens, but it's M-O-K-A, Moka? I think that's maybe how you say it. Acrylic, ultra acrylic neutral pen. Yeah, Dongyang Moka Stationery Company Limited, made in China. They look cheaper. They feel cheaper than the Languo pens, but they write beautifully, beautifully. So there were 6 colors, 6 packages, not 6 colors, 6 packages of those. And I think I would recommend these. Some different color palettes. You got fluorescent yellow and then some browns in there. And then you've got, there's a white and then some blues that go into purples and then a pink. Like I say, you've got some greens there, although that's pretty much fluorescent yellow. Kind of a, you've got one beige and then some pinks and then a blue. You've got another white and kind of a beigey color again. Are those the same beige? Yeah, they're pretty close, but because there's no color numbers or names on them, I can't say for sure. And then a kind of bright limey green, and then some blues and a purple. And then, yeah, some pinks and purples. Those are some nice, like that's a very nice kind of periwinkle color right there. But yeah, I think, so I was sad about the Languo gel pens, but then I was happy with these. Not that there's a whole lot of colors in here that I would use, because I'm not, a super fan of like, that bright neon pink. It doesn't look as neon on camera as it does to me. That it actually looks on camera, it looks kind of like a dull faded pink. It's not. That one right there, number 2, it's like neon pink. Yeah, they look much more faded on camera than they do in real life when I'm looking at them, because I'm looking at the screen ahead of me here. So just be aware of that too. They look much more muted and faded on camera, but they're much brighter in real life. But the ink is the lovely flow. Not quite as opaque, I think, as the Languo ink. It's a little bit less opaque, so be aware of that too. But there you go. That was those 2 kind of packages were my AliExpress. And I'm laying off AliExpress for a while. I'm just too sad about the Languo gel pens, maybe. So something I wouldn't recommend, something that I think is okay, those Moka gel pens. Oh, I had put an order into Delta Art, which is an online, well, it's a brick and mortar art store in Alberta as well, but they do online. I needed some replacement Pit pens, and I needed some more of the watercolor blending medium, the Winsor & Newton. This is the stuff that I've been mixing into water and then putting into my water brush, and I'm loving it. I think it gives a way better, when you're activating, whether it be Neocolor 2s or watercolor pencils or Inktense, right? Probably about a quarter-ish. I mean, you could play around with the amounts. It doesn't really matter. Sort of 3/4 of the water chamber of a pen, water, and then I have a little plastic pipette, and then I put about a quarter of the blending medium in there, and then just give it a good shake. And I like it better. I like the way it blends. So I wanted to get a backup of that. And while I was on Delta Art, I noticed they had this. Now, I saw this on Lindsay the Frugal Crafter because she was talking about trying to fix watercolor paper where the sizing had gone bad. Now, and this makes me a terrible person, I didn't watch the whole video, so I don't know if it worked for her or not. But I just saw that this was sizing liquid, and this is made by Holbein. It's called multi-sizing. Oh no, this came from the Paint Spot. Okay, never mind. I thought it was Delta Art. Paint Spot is another online place you can buy art supplies in Canada. It's not cheap. Well, and I think you can get it on Blick too. It's going to be less in the States. Stuff in Canada is always more expensive. It's all in Japanese. It does say usage, apply with a broad brush and dry well. So it's sizing. It's for watercolor, right? It's to treat paper to make it so that it's watercolor paper. Now, really expensive artist grade watercolor paper. I mean, there's other factors that are in play there as well. There's the sizing, the type of sizing, the texture on the paper, the thickness of the paper. I mean, there's all kinds of things that come into play when you're talking about, artist grade watercolor paper. But I was just more interested in, could I use this to treat coloring book paper? Because, recently I shared a video where I talk about kind of a game changer for me. And that was using workable fixative, Krylon workable fixative, to spray coloring book pages so that they basically acted a little bit more like watercolor paper, so that when I went to use my Pitt pens or my Staedtler pens on those pages, I could blend on the page. Some books and some paper requires nothing. It works beautifully for these pens. But other paper, Amazon books or even other good quality books where the paper is just not, maybe it's a little bit rougher. It's just not conducive to sort of that, being able to blend on the page with inks. I was spraying those pages with the workable fixative, and then I could use these. And I don't mind doing that. There is a smell to the workable fixative. Sometimes it gives me a headache. I don't spray it indoors. But even after I've let it dry and then brought the book back in, when I'm working on the book, I can still smell it some. So I saw this, I thought, I wonder if that would work. So I bought some. And I've tried it. So it's just, you don't have to screw the cap off, but I'm just so you can see inside the bottle. It's a clear liquid. It's a little bit milky looking, so there must be some kind of resin or plasticizer in there, I'm assuming. And all I do, it's got a flip top. It's got a little, I get a little, I have a whole sleeve of these. I bought them for something. They're made by the Solo company, like Solo cups, like disposable plastic cups. But they came in a sleeve. There's like 100 of them or something. I bought them for something years and years ago, and I still have like a lot. But they're great for having just a little bit of liquid in the bottom of them. You could put a little bit of this in like a palette, watercolor palette if it has deep enough wells. But I just put a little bit in the bottom of this, and then I use, where's my brush? This is a Brea Reese brush, so I think I bought a pack of them at Walmart or something like that. But it's just a cheap, right? It's not a fancy brush. I just use this. It's got enough, fraying at the end of it that it just soaks up the liquid. Paint on the page, let it dry. I read somewhere, and I think Lindsay was diluting this too. I think it says on the Blick website that you can dilute it with warm water. But on the bottle, it just says apply with broad brush. So I didn't dilute it. Now, it's $20 for this bottle, so I guess if you wanted this to go further, you could dilute it. But, I mean, you're not using very much per page. And so that's what I did. And I treated... Actually, I treated some postcards. These seasons, and this was a Happy Mail gift from a very lovely viewer, and the paper is wonderful on these postcards. But I was just curious to see how it would be if I treated it, so I treated it, and you can blend on top of it with the Pitt pens like amazingly well. And then I was doing just some black background coloring. What I will suggest, though, is if you're going to treat pages with that, maybe I'll do a separate video about this. It's not like the workable fixative where you're spraying it on and there's no water involved, right? It's a solvent, which is why it smells and it gives me a headache. So you don't get any paper curl with the workable fixative. You are going to get paper curl with that because it's water-based. So what I would do is, I treated this one, I haven't started working on it yet though. But you can see, right, it curled the paper a bit. Paint it on. Get yourself some, this is just wax paper. Let it dry. It actually dries pretty quick. It soaks into the paper pretty quick. Put the wax paper on the side of the page that you treated, and then just get, I don't know, a couple sheets of just paper and put it underneath the page you've treated. So this can still be wet, like this can still be wet, but have the wax paper on the top, some paper underneath, close the book, and put something heavy on it. It will still dry. This will absorb the moisture from the back side. The sizing, the stuff that's in the sizing, will still stay on the front side, and this shouldn't stick to it, right, because it's wax paper. And I think if you do it that way, because I also treated, what else did I treat? I treated a page, 2 pages in here. And again, you're going to see if I get these done by the end of April or not. But there's definitely some wrinkling on the pages that I treated here because I didn't do that. I just let them dry open on the table. So yeah, you can see, I don't know if you can see the waviness there. You see it? But I think it works really well, and you can do some beautiful blending on the treated paper, whereas Rita Berman paper in particular fights you a lot when you're using Pitt pens and the Stettler pigment pens. It just doesn't want to let you blend on the page. So, oops, I think I pulled not that matters, it's dry now, but so yeah, I think And maybe what I'll do is I will do a... Sorry if my voice keeps fading. Keep turning away. I will do maybe a comparison video where I will compare all of the different ways that I know of to treat paper, and we'll see which one maybe works the best for, well, for my preferred way of coloring, which is with Pitt pens and Stettler pens. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's an idea. But yeah, oh, where'd I do with the... Oh, there it is. So this is Holbein multi-sizing liquid. That's, if you just Google that, you should be able to find places that sell it. Like I say, I think Blick sells it. Comes in this little bottle. 60 milliliters, 2 fluid ounces. Yeah, there you go. So I bought that. While I was buying those things, I bought that, and these, and this, and this. So I think these all came from the art shop too. These are sand erasers from Tombow. I've wanted these for a while, I just have never got them. Sand erasers are very, well, they're kind of what they sound like. They're erasers, but they're very gritty. And so these are helpful for erasing things that really don't want to come off the page, because what you're really doing is you're kind of taking up the top layer of the paper. But yeah, they're for ink, right? So you're not technically erasing the ink. You're taking off the top layer of the paper, so the ink is gone. But I have wanted some of these for a while, because I've been curious to see if there is a way to erase Pitt pens. And what I've discovered is not really. But these sand erasers would technically erase the Pitt pen because it takes up the top layer of the paper. These Prismacolor Premier Magic Rub erasers, also, and did I need 12 of them? No, but that's how they came. It was like $10 for 12 erasers. But these also, they're a different kind of eraser. But they will take up sort of the Pitt pen, again, because it's kind of taking up some of the paper. They had this little eraser on special. It was a Mars Plastic Combi eraser. So it's a combination eraser. I think it's 50 cents or something like that. But again, I think it's, particularly this end, it's hard, right? This is softer and this is harder. I don't know. But I did get the same kind of effect. I could kind of erase the Pitt pen, because I did try all these. Basically by taking up a little bit of the paper. I thought maybe this would work. This is a Faber-Castell eraser, but in a pencil. And it's got a little brush on the other end. So you brush away the eraser shavings. Again, this was on clearance, so I just grabbed one of these. I thought maybe this would work, but it doesn't. But I mean, it still works as an eraser. All of these will work as an eraser. But I was specifically looking for something that would maybe, if not erase, just lighten. You know, if I made a mistake or I went outside the lines or something like that. Lighten Pitt pen. Did I find anything that really would? No. You could, I suppose, technically use, because they and I got this ages ago, this Stettler multi-ink blending liquid. And I have done this. So I put this in to use it. You can just put a little bit in like one of those little round containers like I had, and then just use a little teeny paintbrush to blend, which is what they show. You can put it in a water brush. But what I did was I got an empty Schmincke Aqua Drop liner, because it has the same kind of nib. And I got this idea from a wonderful viewer. So, was it Dieter? I think it was Dieter. I have used this as an eraser. So kind of how you would use the alcohol blender as an eraser, right? The alcohol blender pen isn't really to blend. It's more to erase. So I have actually used this in this pen to erase Pitt pens or Stettler pigment pens while they're still wet. After they're dry, that's it, you're done. But while they're still wet, you can kind of use this to erase. It doesn't erase perfectly, just like the alcohol blender doesn't erase alcohol ink perfectly, but it sort of worked. So, I mean, there is that, but I was just curious to see, because some of these did say that they would erase India ink, which is what pit pens are. And they do-ish, because they're taking up part of the paper. But that's okay. Like I say, they weren't very expensive. Probably the most expensive is the Tombow Sand Eraser. Well, for me, because like I say, some of these were on special, on sale, so. But I did think this was kind of fun. Because I don't know about you, I have an old makeup brush that I use for brushing like colored pencil dust. But if you ever try and use that to brush your eraser shavings, they'll get stuck in it. Do you ever notice that? The brush is very, I mean, this is like the cheapest kind of paintbrush you could, not even. It's like really stiff kind of nylon bristles. So that would work well to brush away eraser shavings. This was also Amazon Canada when I bought those books. And I think if you've seen my video, I think it's just previous to this one, where I showed my water-based marker collection, I did stick these in. And I hadn't even been in a haul yet because they were going to be in this haul. I don't own any of the Modeliner markers, but I wanted to try some. And so I saw this set of Modeliner brush markers. And I know that regular Modeliners, I mean, they're highlighters, right? So they have a chisel end, and then, you know, similar to these Modeliner brush, so they would have a chisel end here, and then they have like a bullet tip on the other end. I don't know what I would do with the chisel end, but I did like the idea of a brush end. And the Modeliner colors, the whole point is that the colors are mild, right? They're not really super bright and chemically colors. So I saw this set of 15. They normally come in sets of 5, so there's 3 sets of 5 in here. There's the warm, the fluorescent, and the cool and refined set here. They just came from Amazon. It wasn't a third-party seller or anything. And you know what? I like them. Do I have... I think I do have a swatch of them. Where would it be? There. So there's the colors. The fluorescents are less appealing to me, but I do like, you know, that's a nice red, the green, the smoke blue I really love. The dark blue and the violet, the blue-green, those are really pretty colors, the gold. So I just wanted to try them. Are they any better than any other water-based marker? Not really. I mean, I think it's the same kind of ink. You know, they're going to streak if you have untreated paper. But I just thought they were kind of fun. Some interesting colors. So yeah, that's my only Modeliner pens. There's some new sets coming out of Japan, but I don't think they come in the brush tip. They just come in the chisel and the bullet tip. Those are really beautiful colors. They're like really smoky. I wish they came in the brush. I don't know that I would buy just a chisel tip, but gosh, those colors are pretty. So yes, I did get that set of Modeliner brush markers. And the rest of what I got is the supplies I got from Amazon Japan. So I did get these. They did not come in a Ziploc bag. I put them in there. These are Signo Uniball gold and silver gel pens. And they are not 1mm, they're actually 0.8, but they have gorgeous ink in them. And on Amazon Japan, they're 49 cents each. And so I think you could get singles or you could get like 8 of each. So I just got 8 of each. So it's $4. $4 for 8 of these and $4 for 8 of these. But there's beautiful, sort of really creamy, rich ink in these. And I don't think you can... I realize you can get Uniball Signo gel pens. You know, you can get the broad and you can get all kinds of things in Canada and in the US. But this particular sort of style, I've only ever seen on Amazon Japan. And this gold is different. Quite often, like the Uniball Signo broad gold, it's gold, but then the actual metallic aspect of it is silver, if that makes sense. Whereas this, I find it's gold, but the metallic aspect of it is gold. So, yeah. So I just got 8 of each of those. It actually came, and I try and remember, because I will stick the unboxing, Amazon Japan unboxing, at the end of this video, and you'll see how these, they did not come in a Ziploc bag, but they didn't come loose in the box either. Like they would have, I don't know, for Amazon Canada, that's if I order individual things like this, they just throw it in a big box with everything else. They didn't. So I did get those. I have some of these, I had bought one of each before on a previous Amazon Japan purchase haul, so I just wanted some more. I saw these on the lovely Maya's channel, and they looked really neat, and I have not even opened them. Shall we open them? Why not? So they are by Pentel, and they are brushes. Now, if I had to guess, they look to me like lettering brushes. I didn't translate it, but that's what they look like. They look to me like they're kind of brushes where you would do like Japanese or Chinese calligraphy. But Maya uses them for watercolor painting. I won't. You always want to snap that, don't you? Because it's got the glue on there to shipping, but you don't. You wash it out. But I thought they looked really interesting as watercolor brushes. So there's basically 3 sizes here. That's a 14, that's a 6, and this is a 0. They're just plastic. They're really lightweight, but they have a pen feel to them. Maybe it's because of this kind of thing. Whereas, there's your standard watercolor brush. It doesn't feel quite so much like a pen, which I realize it shouldn't, because it's not. It's a brush. But because I'm not a painter, I'm not an artist, I always feel awkward using brushes. And that's a me thing. I realize if I used them more, I would become less awkward. But this feels like you're holding a pen. And when I paint, I tend to paint like I'm using a pen. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I thought, when I saw Maya with these, I thought, that's interesting. Because I feel like they would just be a more natural feel in my hand. And I think they will be. Now, I haven't tried them yet, but like I say, when you're putting in these Amazon Japan orders, things like this that are just a couple dollars, you put them on and they don't really change the shipping at all. So, yeah. So thank you, Maya. Kay, the lovely Coloring with Kay, had shown this set on a previous haul that she had done from Amazon Japan. And this is Zig, so it's Kuretake. And this is a set of white pens. Now, I actually have one of these already. So this is a white pigment ink in a real brush. So these are bristles. So kind of like the Zig Real Brush Clean Color pens. And where's the one that I have? To have an avalanche off to the side here. There it is. So you see, this is the same thing. Just this is brand new. So you would remove that yellow ring. So unscrew it, take the yellow ring off, screw it back on. This gives really lovely, gentle white highlights on top of other things. So not like a acrylic pen, not like a gel pen, but just really lovely soft white highlights, kind of like the white Pitt pen. But because it's got the real brush, you can get more of a painterly kind of effect. And I don't actually even remember where this came from, but mine is running low. So when I saw this set, and I saw this on like I say, on Kay's channel, I thought, well, that's interesting, because now I can get another one of these, and I can try out some of these other Kuretake white pens. So this is what they call their cartoonist pen. And it also has brushes. Is it? Is it a brush? Are they bristles? Yeah, there's bristles there. I will have to read how to activate this one because it looks like I have to do something here. Turn it? I don't know. So there's that one. And then this looks like to me just, this is Mangaka opaque liner. So 0.7 extra fine. So it's got that plastic nib. So I mean, like a Posca, right? That's this kind of, but maybe this has got slightly different ink. I don't really know. But it just seemed like a cool little set. And like I say, now I have another one of these, which is good because mine was running out. And yeah, so I have a little set of white pens. So brush white, opaque liner, and brush pen, white ultra fine, it says. So we will have to see how those other two pens work. Like I say, I know how this tall one works, but we'll have to see how the other ones work. So thank you, Kay. My last disappointment. These. They weren't very expensive. I threw them on the order. They are by Pentel. They're watercolor sticks. Sorry, glare there. Watercolor sticks. There was a couple different sets of them. I only got one set. It was the Antique Mix. If you look on the side there, doesn't that look like a lovely color palette? Apple green, olive green, ice blue, peacock blue, really smoky kind of colors, some beiges and ochres. It's not that those aren't the colors, because I'll show you how they come. So you open up the box, and it does come with a Pentel water brush, which is cool, right? So you got yourself just a typical Pentel water brush. And then it was possibly the packaging that also sucked me in. It happens. This is a plastic container. It's not glass or anything. But it's this cool little, I don't know, little container. It looks like a little spice bottle. To open it, pull, and you can see they're crayons. So they're watercolor crayons. So like Neocolor 2s, right? And it is a lovely palette of colors. They're beautiful. So I'm looking, I get all, and each of them have a color name and number on them. So this says Crimson Lake 318. This one is Mauve Pink 317. There's a Rose Gray 319. You've got a couple greens in there. So I was really excited. And we had these lovely, beautiful colors. I have Neocolor 2s. Did I need these? No. They're just so pretty. But then I swatched them. Then I was sad again. So, where's the little swatch? Where on earth did I put it? You know, you've got too much stuff when you can't find anything in your swatch book. Where would I put these? Pentel. Because I try and do my swatch book alphabetically, but it doesn't always work just if there's no space. Where on earth did I put them? Sorry, my apologies. Oh, that's where I put them. Right, because they didn't. Right. I also have the Lyra Aquacolor water soluble. So basically the Lyra version of Neocolor 2s, which are also beautiful. But there's the colors. They're very... There's not a lot of pigment in these. They're very, very washed out. Now, I mean, I didn't put down like burnishing pressure and then, you know, drag them out. Maybe if I had, I would have gotten better color payout. I don't know. I mean, they're very pretty. soft, muted colors. But I was expecting, you know, that color palette, right? You could, like, the apple green is a really pretty, it's like the May green on Faber-Castell. That's apple green there. It's very pale. So, yeah. Would I suggest these? No. Are they kind of fun? Yeah. Are they fun because of the colors? No. They're fun because of the packaging. I just thought I'd show them. They were part of my haul. So yeah, they're Vistage, Vistage, Pentel watercolor sticks. That's what they're called. And then there was Antique Mix. I think there was 3 sets total. 3? Maybe. The other sets were a lot brighter. And you guys know me, I love my muted colors. So the Antique Mix was really appealed to me. But I mean, that is antique-y. they're very pale. Not a lot of color payout. But I mean, you know, looking up here at the Lyra, like, you've got just these gorgeous color payouts for these crayons. Oh well. So would I suggest those? No. Amazon Japan, I also got these. Now, those, again, made a brief appearance in my watercolor marker video. They are highlighters. Zebra, made by Zebra. Kira Rich. It says 13 colors, but technically it's 12 colors and then a clear. But they're glitter. Now, I also mentioned in that video, I had purchased these ages ago. These are Faber-Castell highlighters. And they were supposed to be like metallic, glittery. But they aren't, really. There was like Brilliant Ruby, Shiny Silver, Glamorous Gold, Pearl Rose. I mean, they work okay as highlighters, but they're not really shimmery or sparkly or not. Maybe the silver one, like a tiny bit. But these are super glittery. Although, not like a Stickles glittery. More like a shimmer. So, I have them swatched right here. I'm hoping the camera will pick up maybe. I mean, everything else around them is kind of glittery too. You know what I'll do? Here, do this. So they come in this funny little triangle plastic box. We'll get a red one. You don't have to shake them. There's no color names. Well, maybe there is in Japanese. I don't know. But there's no numbers or names that I could see on them. So I just numbered them 1 to 13. It's a chisel tip, like a highlighter, because it's supposed to be a highlighter. When you go to push it down, you can feel the tip like give a little, but you don't have to pump it. I didn't have to. They came primed. And I mean, that's some pretty rich color. They are going to be streaky, you know, like any water-based marker. Do some Christmas coloring here. We'll see if the camera can pick up some challenging lighting. I'm hoping you can see the shimmer. Like I say, it's more of a, if I do that, there we go. It's a shimmer. It's not like Stickles, you know, in your face bling, but they are very pretty, and the color is, the camera's not doing it justice. The color is very rich. It's very vibrant. So yeah, there's your colors. Some pretty standard colors. I mean, reds, greens. There's a lighter green, pink, yellow, orange, kind of a gold, a silver, like a teal color. That one's really pretty. And then there is a clear. So you could put this over top of, you know, something else you're coloring, and then it's almost like Wink of Stella, but in a chisel-y highlighter form. That's really pretty too. see the clear one just above it there. There is shimmer. There is. It's hard to get the camera to pick it up, but it's there. So yeah, I do think these are fun. I think you can get a smaller package of these that just has kind of the more highlightery colors, like the kind of the neon yellow and the pink, maybe the orange, maybe the blue. I don't remember. And I think you can actually get the smaller pack on Amazon, like Amazon US. But like I say, I was putting in that order to Amazon Japan, so they had the larger set there, and I thought I would throw that on. So Cure Rich Zebra highlighters, basically. Glitter ink. Marker that makes writing glitter. But yeah, so you can see, back to this, that's the colors you get. So you definitely get a highlighter, fluorescent yellow, pretty fluorescent orange, pretty fluorescent pink. But you do get, I mean, those are some nice greens. And like I say, that number 9, that teal color is pretty. That dark blue is pretty. Gold. And then the silver isn't very silvery. So there's not a lot of difference between the clear up here and the silver. But that's those. And the last thing I bought. This was kind of a splurge. Did I really need it? No, did I really need any of this stuff? I don't know if, have any of you seen these before? This is also Sakura. They are called Kupi? Is that how you would say it? Kupi pencils. They come in different size sets. This is, because this is Sakura's, is it their 50th anniversary this year? Or last year, maybe it was, I don't remember. This is a special set that had additional colors. So there are 72 colors in this set. And the packaging is very cool. It's this cube. So you slide that out. It does come with, this is Japanese on the side. It comes with some information in English and some Japanese. This is just the coolest color, this, like, put it lower, color palette thingy ever. The Japanese are just so very clever, aren't they? I know it's shiny, sorry. There, you can see it. So it gives all your colors. Each of them have a color name and a color number. And I'll show you how they come, because it's pretty neat. So you got this box. Lift off the lid. Oops. There is a piece of foam inside, so there'll be like a little protective piece of foam there. And then they sit like this on your desk. So inside, and okay, you notice this actually came out on me, this plastic thing. That's because I broke it, because I was just curious to see if the plastic, this clear plastic sort of collar was supposed to come out, but I don't think it was. So now it kind of comes out on me sometimes, but I think it's supposed to be glued in there. And so they sit on your desk in this little box. And you can take out these little individual cubes. Now, this is just cardboard. And I was kind of disappointed in that, because I thought these were like plastic, but they're not. They're basically a little cardboard box that has holes in it that hold these Kupi pencils. And these are kind of like a cross between a pencil and a crayon. Which is funny, because in Canada we call colored pencils pencil crayons. But these truly are but like a cross between a pencil and a crayon. Now, this is not the color order they came in. They actually came in a very cool color order in here. I rearranged them because I wanted them in a particular color order. So I put them in, you know, sort of that yellow-orange, and then we've got orange and reds and pinks, and then pinks and purples. And then I turn, and then we go into purpley blues, and then blues, and then blue greens, and then we've got greens, and then olive greens, and then more olive greens, and then browns. And then, starting right there, there is, oh, no, sorry, grays, starting there. So yeah, grays and then black, sorry, starting there. This is pearl white, pearl yellow, and then these are pearl colors. And they're not water soluble. Oh, and so you can take each of these little things out. You can set that in your desk. This middle one here does have the Sakura logo on it, but you can turn it over and it's got empty. So let's say you wanted, you know, some colors out in your desk, but you didn't want, you know, just these colors. You can pick and choose and then make yourself a little, so it's like a little holder for a project if you only had 9 colors going. Or you just turn it over, put it in the middle. It's just fun. They color down like, well, you can, there's no wrapper on them. There's no, like, you don't have to twist anything up. So it's almost like woodless, but I don't think it needs wood because it's not, it's hard to explain. FY122, that's the color number. So there's no name on the actual pencil, crayon, whatever you want to call it, but there is a number, and that number does correspond to, where did I put it? The color names that were in here. So I don't think the FY means anything. I think they all say FY, maybe. But the 122 part, so it says FY122. 122 is magenta there. So they do correspond. Crayon, but maybe more crayon than pencil, but they're still called Koopy pencils. They're not super pigmented, you know, like the Neocolor ones, which are crayons, are much more pigmented, but they're also softer. So these are like a really hard crayon or a really soft-ish waxy pencil. But I mean, they have lovely color. You can overlap them. You can blend them together. Like I say, the color, it's not super saturated, but you can keep layering over top, which is not typically something you can do with a crayon, you know, because it tends to get very waxy quickly, and then you can't sort of get any more down. So you can do that. You can use solvents, whether that be, what do I got? Like a Derwent blender pen or Gamsol or anything like that. You can blend them out with that. But like I say, they're not water soluble, but I mean, just like any, you could do that with Crayola crayons too. You could blend them out with that sort of thing. The pearl colors are pretty. See if you can pick up on the pearl shine at all. I mean, I guess the regular crayons are kind of shiny too, but there is something. It's a very subtle pearl, but it's there. But yeah, I think 72 is the largest set. I don't think you can get any more than that. Did I need them? No. But they just seemed awful fun. Yeah. I can show you a swatch of all of the colors. Can't I? I should be able to. Oh my goodness, Connie. I really should have had this stuff marked ahead of time. My apologies. Nope. Oh wait, I think I didn't put these alphabetically because I put them next to the Neo colors, which makes it harder to find, but there is your color range. So I can come down a bit here. All the colors there. So there's a white. It's not that opaque. And then they go down this way. So I put them in this order. So you've got a really pale lemon yellow, cream, and then we go some yellows, some orange yellows, to some light oranges, apricots, salmons, some reds, some different kind of more purpley pinks, pale lilac, violet, heliotrope, that's a pretty color, violet gray, love that color, and then into some blues, some really pale aqua blues there. Really nice selection of like greens. Like you've got some, that's a pretty blue green, deep green, some sort of, traditional kind of greens here, but then yellow green, dark olive, mustard, grass green, olive green. Really nice section of greens there. Some really nice yellow ochres and khakis. Some reddish browns, brick reds. That blue gray is really pretty. A couple of grays there, black, and then pearl colors. The pearl colors, I put a little bit of black Sharpie down. I just wanted to see if the pearl colors would be opaque or would show up in black. Not really. I mean, they still look, I think you can see the kind of the pearl shimmer over top of the black, right? You can see when I tilt it there. You get a little bit of shine on the non-pearl colors here just because they're crayon-like, but I think you can definitely see there's more shine on the pearl colors there. But they don't, it's not like they're opaque on black, right? So you can see, yeah, you can see the shine. But those are the Sakura Koopy. I think that's how you say it. Coupy. Koopy pencil. That's what it says on here too, right? Somewhere. It says it somewhere. But they're fun. Like I say, did I need them? No. But they as a crayon, they are, I think, quite nice. They seem to not gum up the paper, so you can layer them. Yeah, I think they're just something fun. There's no waste because, like I say, the whole thing is there's not even a paper wrapping, but it doesn't seem to come off in your hands either. They've printed, right on here. I'm assuming you can sharpen them. I mean, it would be just like sharpening a regular crayon, except there's no, paper to unwind. I mean, I haven't had to sharpen them yet, but I'm assuming you could. And you could probably sharpen them right down. The bottom does have like a little indent, but I think that might just be, that's how they're made. Like, because the indent goes down to kind of a point like this. So I'm thinking they probably cut apart at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like there was probably another one of this pencil, as they were being manufactured, if I had to guess. That is it. Oh my goodness, this is like 2 hours. Oh well, you guys do say you like the long chatty videos. Oh, at this point, I will insert the little unboxing that I did of the Amazon Japan stuff just to show you how well they box things over there. Like, I mean, this came, it was really nice. Nothing's broken. The books had no little bends or anything on them. I mean, everything was so well packaged. Sort of an unboxing, but more just to show you, if you guys have never ordered from Amazon Japan, this is crazy. So I ordered from Amazon Japan, and it came in a box, which, you know, often Amazon stuff does. But I don't know about you guys, but when I order from, say, Amazon Canada, which is where I am, or Amazon US, often the stuff will come in either just really flimsy envelopes, so it's not well protected, or they'll put it in a box, but they'll put it in a box that kind of isn't even the proper size for what they're putting in there, and then they don't put any additional packing material in. Do you know what I mean? Or if they do, they'll throw in, it's literally like they've crumpled up one piece of paper and thrown it in there, and that was supposed to protect it. So stuff is like bouncing around in the box, and depending on if you've got coloring books in there with, say, supplies, and everything's shifting and moving all over the place, you know, the supplies will bang into the coloring books, and then they get bent, and then, right? This is how stuff comes from Amazon Japan. So I had ordered some books and some supplies. And a couple of the supplies that I had ordered, and don't worry, we'll take a look at all of this in the haul video. But I just wanted to show, so the books and the supplies came in this box, which is a great size, number one, for what they've put in here. They put in some additional packing paper to stop things shifting around. And what really got me in a good way, there are some pens. They are Uniball Signo. Let me see if I can find. Nope, wrong ones. They are Uniball Signo, which of course I won't be able to find right now. And they only come from, oh, here they are. As far as I can tell, you can only buy them in Japan. They're different. I know Uniball has a number of metallic gel pens, right? You've got the broad ones with the great big nib, and then you've got other kind, well, the kind that I had pulled here, right? The Uniball Signo, like these. But these seem different somehow. So I had purchased these before, and on Amazon Japan, they are, no word of a lie, like 49 cents a piece. Now, if I was just going to order these, that would make no sense because the shipping would be far too expensive. But on Amazon Japan, when you hit a certain, I'm not sure if it's a certain monetary threshold or a weight size threshold, I don't know. But the shipping doesn't increase after that. So if you're ordering some books, it's a great time to throw on some of these little kind of, you know, stationery items, because stationery stuff in Japan is dirt cheap. And by adding these little items, it doesn't seem to increase the shipping anymore. So those pens, I bought them singles in a past order and really liked them. So you could either buy singles or you could buy like 8 at a time. So I thought, well, I really like those, so I'm going to buy 8, because it's like, what, $4 for 8 pens? And if this was Amazon Canada or the US, they literally would have just thrown those loose pens in the box, and they would have rattled around, and, you know, no, here's Amazon Japan. A little paper thing. And so they took the time to put these pens, just wrap it up in a little bit of paper. But it kept them together. They weren't like rattling around in the box. I tell ya. Sorry, it's gonna be loud. These are the silver. These are the gold. Then we've got some other things here. The books you can see are underneath there. So, I mean, packaged well. And not only that, honestly, I think this got to me quicker than an Amazon Canada order I placed in the same day. I don't know. I mean, I realize I pay more shipping, right? I do. I do have Amazon Prime with Amazon Canada, so I get free shipping. And I realize I'm rural. I'm in the middle of nowhere. So it's not like I'm in a city where I can get, you know, same day or next day or whatever shipping. But and Amazon Japan ships to me anyway, DHL, which is it's a courier company, whereas Amazon Canada uses, what do they call it now? Intelcom or Dragonfly, one or the other, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to just show you how stuff comes packaged from Amazon Japan. Yeah, that's fascinating. I'll just leave it there. You can look at the cute little cube here of the crayons. Usual drill. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, consider liking the video, subscribing, notification bell, leaving a comment, letting a friend know that you found a channel that you like. They might like it too. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is well. And I hope long video, I'm forgetting how to talk. I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. Till next time, folks, take care. Bye-bye.